Welcome to the three-part video series, The Hidden Energy Robbers Stealing Your Spark and the Steps You Need to Take to Get It Back. I'm Dr. Jen Landa. I'm an OBGYN hormone specialist, Chief Medical Officer of Body Logic MD, and I am dedicated to helping you get your energy back. And that's the reason I created this three-part video series. So this video 1, we're going to go over the 3 energy states, and you're going to find out which energy state you are. In video number 2, you're going to find out the 5 hidden energy robbers, the reasons that you're crashing. And in video number 3, you're going to find out my 5-step endless energy plan. Energy is the most important thing that you need more of in your life right now, because when you're exhausted, you can't be your best. And you can't give your best to your family, your job, your partner, your life. Trust me, I know because I've been there. I lost what I call my spark when I was only 28 years old. It started when I was only 28. I was only married for about 3 years. And the first thing that started to go for me was my sex drive. And it was a surprising time. You wouldn't think so. And it was really frustrating. And it was kind of like this unsaid thing between me and my husband until this one night we were trying to get intimate and it was just awkward and it wasn't working. And finally he said, "What's going on with you? Aren't you attracted to me anymore? And don't you love me anymore?" And I said, nothing could be further from the truth. But I just felt guilty and I felt so alone because I had no idea what to do. So we kind of muddled on through, and then we had a baby. And things only got worse from there. After I had my baby, I had the worst 6 months of my life probably because I was exhausted and I never recovered from it. No matter how much sleep I got, I was always tired. I didn't want to spend any time with my baby. And I always felt guilty, like I was a terrible mom. And it just kept getting worse and worse to the point where I couldn't even handle stress anymore. And the thing that I used to love, rushing into the hospital and saving the day when there was a baby in distress, became this terrible weight on my shoulders. And it actually caused me to quit doing what I love, to deliver babies and to do surgery. And that's when I realized I had to start really looking for answers in other places. And that's when I started to learn about functional medicine and nutrition and hormones and how to look at the body in a more holistic way. And that's when I started finding answers to help myself and to help my patients. And that snowballed, and now I've helped thousands of patients. And even Dr. Oz asked me what my fatigue solutions were. There is a way back to amazing energy. Imagine waking up after a full night's sleep, feeling amazing. Steady energy through the day and enough to even carry you through the evening. Feeling happy and balanced again, energetic and whole. Basically feeling like yourself again. That's what I want for you. And you deserve it. I've developed the 3 Weeks to Endless Energy program to help you get your energy back. There are 5 steps to the program and to getting your energy back. But before we do that, you need to know a few things. And one of the first things we need to start with is knowing which energy state you're in. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 energy states, and you're going to learn which energy state you're in. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about CRASH, which is the acronym for the 5 hidden energy robbers that are crashing your energy. And finally, in the third video is when I'm going to tell you the 5 steps to my endless energy program. So we lose our energy in stages. It doesn't happen all at once. It's kind of like what I described to you. The stages that happened to me, losing my sex drive, then losing my energy, and then really losing my nerve and ability to handle stress. Those were sort of like the energy states that people might move between when they start burning out. We can move through all the different stages, and we can even move back and forth through the stages. And you may need different solutions depending on your stage, and that's why it's so important that you understand which energy state that you're in. So the energy states depend on the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is produced by our adrenal glands, which are small glands that sit on top of our kidneys. And cortisol is our stress hormone. We make cortisol when we're stressed out. And the cortisol helps us deal with our stress. So if you're like me and most people, you're probably making a lot of cortisol just to get through the day. But cortisol is your jumpstart hormone. Cortisol goes up to its highest level in the morning between 5 and 7 a.m. to wake you up. And then over the course of the day, it slowly goes down so that it's at a really low level at night so that you can go to sleep at night. That is if you have normal cortisol. If your cortisol levels aren't normal, you might be in one of the 3 energy states that I described called burning up, burning low, and burning out. Now there is a 4th energy state, and that's burning steady. That's when you've got a great amount of cortisol. So when I talk about cortisol, you might have heard of cortisol before, and you might have heard that cortisol is bad for you. Like high cortisol makes you gain weight. It makes your blood sugar go up, your blood pressure go up. So you might think having low cortisol would be a good thing, but it's not. Cortisol, I call it like a Goldilocks hormone. You don't want too much and you don't want too little. You want it to be just right. So having your cortisol in the just right zone would be burning steady. If you're very stressed out and you're producing lots of cortisol all the time, you're burning up. Eventually, if you're burning up for long enough, you can get into the stages of burning low and burning out when you're not making enough cortisol to meet the demands of your body. So let's talk about burning up first. When I talk about burning up, I introduce a character, a patient of mine named Frantic Franny, who, trust me, she's a character. Frantic Franny was burning up. And Frantic Franny, when I think about Franny, I think about a woman who's overwhelmed all the time. She's always distracted. She has trouble focusing on anything. She runs into the office and she's hyper and intense. And what's going on? What's going on? She's stressed, but she's wired. And she's always eating sugar, so she's never in good shape. Her waistline is expanding because she craves sugar. Her energy does what I call zips and dips. So she'll be like full of energy one minute, and then later she'll be like, oh, I'm so tired. And then you'll see her stuffing in some sugar and some caffeine to keep her going. She tends to be irritable, snappy, and she finds it hard to relax. If you're like Frantic Franny, you probably find it hard to relax, maybe hard to get to sleep at night, feel irritable more often than not, have trouble losing weight, crave sugar. If any of that sounds familiar, you might be burning up. And that means you're making too much cortisol for what you need. Now, if you've been burning up long enough, or if the stress you're under is so intense, or if your body just doesn't have a great stress reserve, you might get into the stage that I call burning low, where I think about my patient, Drained Donna. Drained Donna was a woman who came into my office and said to me, I am just living at 50% capacity. And it's just not enough. I want more from my life. I wake up in the morning and I don't feel so great. I have to get some coffee in and sugar, and then I feel a little better, but it only lasts so long. I do my best in the morning, so she does most of her complicated work in the morning. She feels like she can't concentrate that well. She's thinking almost through pea soup. It's like foggy thinking. And she's not in a good mood a lot of the time. And she feels like she's just pushing herself to get through the day. What energy she has doesn't last. And if you're like Drained Donna, you probably feel the same way, but it's just not enough for you. If you've been pushing that hard for long enough that your cortisol supply keeps going down, you can even get to the state called burning out. That's when your flame is almost gone. Your cortisol supply is very small. You're not able to make a lot of cortisol to keep up with stress, to keep up with your demands. And that's what makes me think of a patient of mine I call Exhausted Emma. Exhausted Emma told me that she had 2 kids and it was all she could do just to get out of bed in the morning, drag herself to the bus stop with them, get them on the bus, drag herself back, and just lay on the couch all day. She couldn't clean her house. She couldn't cook food. She was just exhausted. And it took everything she had just to get back out to the bus stop at the end of the day, to get the kids off the bus, bring the kids back. And she would just have them sit on the floor in front of her to do their homework or play so that she could even be involved, because she just didn't have enough energy to do any of it. And she felt guilty all the time because her husband was like, "What's wrong with you?" What? And she had no idea, and her doctors didn't know. If you're burning out, if you're like exhausted Emma, you're probably pretty depressed because you don't know what's going on and you have no energy. And you might have stomach trouble like constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating. You might have really low immune system, like you feel like you catch every little bug that's going around. And I bet you can't handle stress. So which is it? Are you burning steady? Are you lucky enough to be burning steady? Or are you burning up like Frantic Franny? Or, in all truthfulness, me? I get that way. When I get stressed out, I definitely get into that burning up stage and I feel like I just can't relax. And I've got to do my own program to help get me back on track. And if I'm burning up for long enough, truth be told, I'll get to be like a drained Donna, burning low. And the story I told you where I lost my ability to handle stress and I was exhausted all the time, that was when I was burning out. That was when I was like an exhausted Emma. So what about you? Are you burning up? Are you burning low? Are you burning out? Are you like a Frantic Franny? Are you a drained Donna? Are you an exhausted Emma? Take the energy quiz and find out what your energy state is. And then watch your inbox, because you're going to be getting the rest of the video series from me. And especially watch out for video number 2, which is going to be coming your way soon, which is going to go over the 5 hidden energy rubbers that are causing you to crash. Also, I would love for you to leave me your comments on Facebook, the Facebook box below. Leave your comments, ask your questions. I want to know what you need. I want to know what you need to know. I can't wait to see your comments and questions. For now, wishing you the best of great health, great happiness, and of course, amazing energy.